Hibiscus syriacus, a Syrian rose tree. It's popular around the Mediterranean, and it's found very commonly in English gardens all the way up to Scotland. It grows, it flowers all through summer. It starts from March onwards and then flowers till much later on. Further up north, it's a little shorter in the flowering duration. This particular one, the pot had an accident and had broken, so it's now without a pot. And I'm going to repot it into a slightly bigger pot. But we'll start off by first pruning the tree and then wiring it into the shape. So we're going to start off by using, I think, the pruning tools of mine, which are the branch cutter, which is a small branch cutter, 170 mm. Then there's a slightly more general purpose shears and a long with reaching to finer branches. This particular tree has only some very small finer branches on it at the moment, so it doesn't need any heavier tools to do any pruning. We start off by pruning these long runaway branches. They almost look like candelabras, the arms of a candelabra in the way the hibiscus grows. I'm going to keep the style. I'm going to keep the candelabra style in this particular tree. So the initial pruning is going to be to cut away most of this year's growth and cut back to just leave 3 nodes on the stem. And once we've done the pruning, we'll wire them into shape. So the pruning is going to be dealing with removing all the tips from the front. So it'll force growth down by the lateral, so that lateral shoots are ramified more. The next phase of this is to wire our tree. There are not many branches to wire on this, but there are still a few that need to be moved into the light and also to help with some of the styling with it. The branches are not too heavy, so we'll be using 2.5, 2 and 1.5 mm in the main to move our branches into light and to help style it. So we'll be using a pair of wire cutters and a pair of gin pliers to help with cutting and using the wires together. When you're wiring, make sure that you wire 2 branches at a time so that each supports the other, adds a little bit of extra fulcrum to it. And when you're bringing the wire, terminate the wire in the fork of the branches and the next set of branches. And then when you're wiring the next set of branches, make sure that you tie the tongue that is already there, and just carry on doing all the branches one by one. The final stage of working on the hibiscus bonsai is to repot it. I'll be using a few tools to help me with it. There is a tweezer, a chopstick, a metal chopstick, a nice heavy pair of branch root shears, and I may have to use a branch cutter or a root cutter. I will use a spatula and gin pliers to help me with finally tying it up into the pot. The next step, of course, is to start by clearing off all the weeds and removing some of the topsoil and some of the soil around the pot, and then measure it out so that it fits snugly in the pot. Having said that, this root ball is a little bit on the small side because it was in a much smaller pot. The trouble was that it had been suffering from getting dry too quickly, so I'm putting it in a much bigger pot, and hopefully we should see a lot more growth from this year onwards, and with it a lot more flowering because of that. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed watching me repot my hibiscus, prune, shape and style the hibiscus. It's one of my favorite trees and I'm hoping you'd enjoy it just as much. And if you would like me to do another species, please put it in the comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please put a like at the bottom and do subscribe, because I do add videos regularly and the YouTube system will tell you as soon as I have added something on. Thank you, and we look forward to meeting you again online.